Hey there, and thanks for tuning in to another episode here on Dimension Shift Studios. This is Netclix and Chill, episode 11.
Yeah.
My name's Jim.
Yeah, I'm Daniel. Yep, that happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's been a while since we've put up a video. Probably 2 weeks at least.
It's been 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
We threw one up like right when the hurricane was like knocking on our door.
Right after the hurricane, we lost power for almost a week, which kind of prevented any forward progress. And then since then, we either have not been able to get together, or it also hasn't seemed like we had a whole lot of content to talk about since the Mighty Thor and the Undead release, because a lot of the events locally have been canceled. On Saturdays and stuff, haven't really been able to participate that much. And there has not really been any official release as far as dials or anything of the new sets that are coming out.
Yeah, it's been very slow, which makes sense. We had a lot with the Undead set, Mighty Thor, new rules, just everything hit all at once. So obviously it makes sense that they're kind of slowing down. They've got to figure out what to do next. But we have started to get at least the set list for Harley Quinn and the Gotham Girls, which is going to be a really cool set. I'm pretty excited about it. So we'll talk about that a little bit today, and yeah. Let's just dive in.
Okay.
So we just read through the confirmed set list on the Realms, and
It's not the whole set list.
No, it's
It's kind of like just little pieces as far as like, the CUR set, right? Is there any like chase release or anything?
No chases yet. We do have some super rares. Looks like we're probably getting a Harley Quinn title character. It's in the first super rare, which in Mighty Thor was a title character. Deadpool, it was a title character. What was the other one?
When did the Doctor Strange one come out?
Yeah, Doctor Strange and Avengers Defenders were. It's all the same slot. I mean, the set numbers are different, but it's that first super rare slot. And it's about the same point cost, besides Odin, or not Odin, but Thor, Odin's son. Aside from him, they've all been like 60 to 90 points, and she's 60 points.
Is this the first DC title character?
I think it is.
Because those other three are Marvel.
Yeah, we got Odin and Loki, or Odin's son and Loki. We got Doctor Strange,
and Deadpool. Yeah.
And yeah, so this is the first, because we didn't have them in What If or Elseworlds. So
weird.
Yeah, so assuming it is a title character, which it has to be, it's too good of an opportunity to not make her the title character.
We didn't have a title character Joker in Joker's Wild.
They did title characters after that. Deadpool was the first title character.
I thought, whatever.
Yeah.
I thought they came out about the same time, but I'm not sure. That's like right when I was getting back in is when Joker's Wild was out. So yeah, it would have had to be after that then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's really cool. I got super excited because there's a generic that's getting reprinted that we haven't had in a long time.
Real long time.
It's the Hive Trooper.
Yeah, and now they actually have good representation because they have Queen Bee too. So you have the Hive Trooper, the Hive Commander, and then Queen Bee. You could actually make what I would assume to be an effective Hive team based on how good they actually are.
Even if it's not effective, I will definitely be building that and playing it against your Teen Titans, which means you'll have to get the Gordanian form Beast Boy now.
That's right. My favorite form is the Dolphin form of Beast Boy, though, for the basically pseudo shifting focus. But I think it's great that it's a dolphin, but HeroClix rules still allow it to move around on land, and it has super senses. So when you roll that 5 or 6, this dolphin just like rolled across the concrete and then dodged a bullet. Like, it's absolutely insane.
So good. I really like the dinosaur. That's probably my favorite because for 60 points, it's just a powerhouse, and it's a freaking giant dinosaur sculpt. Like, I love it.
Yep.
But the Gordanian form, he's got a 4 damage on like
he's real good.
He's got 4 damage on like 2 or 3 clicks, and he gets like modifiers to his stats, right? Like,
definitely the best form.
Yeah, he's super cool. And he shifts different than the others. They never errated it to just be shifting focus, which is dumb to me. But they've like, I don't know, they changed him a little bit. He does something better. It's been a while since I've looked at him.
Either way, that's an old school here. If they come out with new Beast Boys and stuff, I'm hoping that they'll just rewrite that whole power into shifting focus and kind of make it a new arc of characters.
And literally, like, I'd be okay with almost the same thing. 60 points give you like a Blades Claws Fangs character, a hypersonic character, someone with like the dinosaur super strength, Like, just give us that same blend.
Dinosaur super strength.
Well,
It's like the T-Rex with his tiny arms picking up objects.
Okay.
He still can though.
Yeah.
Because he can pick up a light even if he doesn't have it. So
Yeah.
that's cool.
We'll just say he like grabs something with his tail.
His
Just
teeth.
smacks something at you with his
Yeah.
tail. I don't know.
I don't know. His giant mouth.
Though-
It seems more effective to just bite somebody.
What I like is the theories lately that dinosaurs are actually covered in feathers. It makes T-Rexes like way cooler when you think about a T-Rex covered in feathers, like a beak. There's like this giant like chicken. That would explain the tiny arms too.
I guess it would.
Yep.
They're actually little wings.
Yeah. It's like what, a kiwi? Just this giant carnivorous kiwi.
Oh god, that'd be horrible.
We are going way off track from
The biggest tangent I think that's ever been on our podcast here.
I'm okay with it though, because who doesn't like little dinosaur?
Tiny dinosaur wings on a T-Rex. That's
And it's
pretty
relevant to
fantastic.
Space Boy.
Yeah. Alright, so wait, what are we talking about? We've got the Harley Quinn set, and there's one character that I am specifically super excited about, and I'm sure that you don't know because I'm not sure that I've ever said it on the show or on any part of this channel before, but the Question, Vic Sage, is my favorite comic book character. So Booster Gold is my favorite superhero. I would not consider the Question a superhero because he's more like a reporter, judo master guy.
Yeah.
But Renee Montoya was the replacement for Vic Sage, and as his heir, she kind of has also become a favorite of mine, even though I don't really enjoy like reading her comic books. But I'm really excited that she's being released because that means there is a potential for the Question to make a reappearance. So we've had several iterations of Renee Montoya and Renee Montoya as the Question in HeroClix ever since the Arkham Asylum set. And now we're seeing another one. What I'm hoping for, which hasn't been released yet, we have Renee Montoya confirmed. We don't know anything about any of their dials or anything, we just have names. I'm hoping that she has a shifting focus power to shift into a Question figure who is also in this set, who we just don't have confirmed yet. And that allows you to kind of swap back and forth between the alias, and if you have shifting I'm hoping for a special power shifting focus that when she shifts, she could use Smoke Cloud as a free action with a limited number of spaces, because, for anybody who doesn't know, the change occurs when they hit their belt buckle and it releases gas, so that the face fuses to their face and then their clothes change color. So free Smoke Cloud totally makes sense. And
But only could be like placed around.
like
squares
adjacent
in
to her.
or adjacent to her.
Yeah,
That
and that would make a lot more sense. But then also, we've never had a version of the Vic Sage Question who was in the arc that was accompanying Renee Montoya, which was during the Crisis 52, not the like New 52 series, but the one where, you know, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman disappeared and Black Adam was like attacking the world and all that stuff. In that series, Renee Montoya and Vic Sage were working together. We never got that version of Vic Sage in HeroClix, and that's what I want. I'm hoping that that happens in this set, because it did occur in Gotham City at the beginning of that series, and I'm hoping that they bring him in.
I feel like there's no way that the developers know that much about the Question.
I want it to be done.
It would be super cool.
It
and
would
like
be
the shifting
fantastic.
focus, that sounds like a cool power. But
They're not creative enough.
and I appreciate that you're very hopeful for this set.
Yeah.
But
That's honestly all. I saw Renee Montoya on that list, and I was like, dude, this is thematically a copy of Joker's Wild. I realize that they're focusing a lot on the bombshell characters, which I think is absolutely fantastic, but it really feels clunky to have Joker's Wild and then Harley Quinn. It's just like, put some breathing time in between those.
Through Elseworlds in between, which we got Batman, Superman, Green Arrow, butt ton of Wonder Woman, like, it's like kind of the same again.
Yeah, you can see that there's a different lineup of characters. They're obviously focusing on the female characters, which was the point.
Yeah.
And
hopefully with the name.
Yeah, but like a focus on Gotham again itself. You have more iterations of Joker, Robin, Batman. It's tiring.
Yeah.
Like,
now, if they give us like Teen Titans Robin again, and kind of like we got the Teen Titans Raven, that was really good. And then it looks like we're getting the Hive. So like I feel like they could do a Teen Titans sub theme, which would definitely make the set a lot better to me than just being Gotham City. because like I like the Teen Titans, and it would be cool if they did like the animated TV series Teen Titans, because like they showed they're not afraid to do that with the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
We got the Space Turtles, which is from a TV show in 2012.
What really pisses me off about the Turtles? Now let's go back, because we had heard there is also, so it's still relevant, heard that there is a chance that there's a 4th Turtle set. Has it been confirmed?
I believe it was confirmed, but I haven't seen nearly as much on it as I have like the Thor movie set that's coming out, or the X-Men set that was confirmed, or the Star Trek set. Like those have a lot more substance to them. We just gotta, there's gonna be a TMNT4. Okay, have a nice day. And like I remember looking into it and seeing that it was like at least a reliable source. But it's been a while since I've looked at it, so I can't remember for sure.
Well, what I'm really hoping, and after the 3rd set, I had heard that their sales were not what they expected, and they might not do another one. Apparently, there were a lot of fans of HeroClix that didn't want them to make another one, because they're considering those new Turtle sets as standard in competitive play, and that was previously not done. You only had like the Marvel and the DC sets that were present in standard, and anything else was an offshoot in its own category. And a lot of people were like, "Oh, you're messing up the universe," even though Turtles were originally published by Marvel Comics, I think. So
I thought it was DC. I thought they interacted with
with Daredevil.
Oh, it was Daredevil.
Yeah, it was Daredevil's ooze that blinded him that also mutated the Turtles, based on the first Turtle comic book.
Okay. Yeah. So they're like a Marvel hero arc, I guess.
Yeah, and they're both in New York. They fight the foot, and Daredevil fights the hand. Like it's
it's like that for a reason. Like
so and they are present.
Shredder totally fits like the crazy supervillain feel. Like even with the clones, which I know they're very strong and people. Well, I mean, Invincible kind of shuts them down, so they're not like over the top. But a lot of people complained that the Shredder clones, the chases were like meta breaking and really good, but like. Why is that a complaint? You get this like cool gravity feed set, which the distribution was bad, so maybe that's what the complaint was. But,
the
like,
3rd one was horrible.
Yeah,
absolutely nuts. It was bad.
But you get like cool figures that work well together, that have meta potential, like, but they're not, in my opinion, they're not like super overwhelmingly broken. They're beatable. So, like, to me that's pretty good.
But going back to the reason that I am upset that about what has happened so far. So, in the first 3 Turtle sets, they have definitely just beaten the dead horse with the 80s version of the Turtles. So we've probably had like 4 iterations of the 4 Turtles from the 80s series, the original animated series.
What about the traded stealth toughness ones from TMNT 2? What series are those guys from?
Those are from the 2003 set. Those are the 2 rares are Donatello and Leonardo, and the 2 super rares are Michelangelo and Raphael, running about $25 to $50 each.
Yeah.
Which is nuts because
they're so cool though.
They are. My favorite series of Ninja Turtles was the one that I came into, and that was 2003 animated series of Ninja Turtles. The only representation that series has had in the HeroClix set so far, out of 3 freaking gravity feeds, are those 4 characters representing the 4 main characters. Really difficult to get. I have Leonardo and Donatello, and I really want Raphael and Michelangelo, but they're freaking expensive, and you can't get the gravity feeds on their own really anywhere anymore to try to pull them.
And even if you did, like the entire gravity feed, you might get 1 super rare.
And that might not even be, probably isn't one you want.
And the chases in that in TMNT2 are worth less than the 2 super rare turtles.
Yeah, I got Graviturtle. When he was first pulled, he was about $25. They're running about 10 each now.
15. I got lucky with that. I got Electro for.
And what are Raph and Michelangelo going for? Because when the set first came out, there were 50 each.
They're down to like 25 to 35 each from what I've been seeing. Like.
Well, they were my favorite Turtles. I really love them, especially now that leadership has changed, so Leonardo can actually take tokens off of adjacent characters who are 100 points if they share a keyword. So he can actually help them out now, especially since his leadership power specifically says you add 1 to the die roll for every adjacent character with the TMNT keyword. So if you have a full set of 4, you're only failing on a 1 or 2.
Well,
so
it would be a 5, 4, 3, 2. No, it only fails on a 1.
Only fails on
all
one.
3 turtles are adjacent.
Now, that might be a bad idea for energy explosion and stuff, but...
Well, but they all got stealth, so unless it's someone who's...
True.
Has energy explosion and ignores stealth, which I don't think there's any in the meta right now.
Either way, that Leonardo has defend with an 18 defense, so being next to him brings them all up anyway.
And they all have toughness, so you only take 1 damage each. So it's really not that bad. Energy explosion kind of sucks now.
And then you freaking take the tokens off now. Before it was like, oh, I get a bonus to my leadership roll, but it really doesn't matter because the people I'm trying to take tokens off of are the same as me. So that is great. All that said, those 4 characters and then the convention exclusive Cyber Shredder. That Shredder appeared in that 2003 animated series.
Yeah. So
those are the only versions of the characters from that series that have been represented. There are so many possibilities here. So you've got, actually, Fugitoid from the second set. The straight up silver one was also from that series. So there are 6 that are currently from the 2003 series. I want to get the underground monsters, and they only appeared in that series. They're like humans who remain humans only when they're around this crystal. And you've got 3 of them, which I want: Razor Fist, Stonebiter, and Quarry. And they were like my favorite characters in that whole series, and I'm really upset that they haven't put them out yet. If I were to ever win some type of championship or something, Razor Fist would be the character that I would design and make them print.
that'd be cool. I'd just do another iteration of Deadpool.
Yeah.
But it would be like the sculpt. Have I talked about this before?
I don't know.
I feel like I have. It would be the sculpt where he had that like $2 million, so he was making pancakes or waffles. I think it's pancakes. And he's wearing like the apron with the hat and his Deadpool thing, and he's flipping the pancakes. It says like "kiss the cook." That's the Deadpool I'd make.
What would his comic panel give you? Because I feel like that'd be a pretty unique opportunity.
Yeah. Plasticity because of the syrup.
Yeah.
So he'd be sticky. That'd be so good. That's what I would do.
Yeah. Or incapacitate because you feed somebody too much. I don't know.
I just think the plasticity is like...
Plasticity is a very good power, too.
Exactly. You put that on Venom Hulk.
You just gotta hand that around.
Or Venom Pool, not Venom Hulk.
Venom Hulk.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Venom Hulk's pretty great.
Anyways, so we didn't talk about Harley Quinn a whole lot.
We really don't have much to talk about.
Yeah, the bombshell figures, they have cool sculpts, and I think it's a cool theme. And I like that there's commons, uncommons, and rares with the bombshell sculpt.
The set is coming out in November.
I thought it's end of October, early November. They bumped it up a little bit. It's coming out kind of soon.
I saw that WizKids tweeted like 3 days ago, and they said that it was going to be confirmed like midway through November. I would expect sometime around like the 20th, but that's totally unconfirmed.
Either way, I'm not going to get into it again because the Mighty Thor, you kind of proved me wrong. So whatever you say works.
Yeah,
you got it.
I decide these things now.
Yeah, and that's around your
birthday.
birthday.
That WizKids.
So
24th, yep.
And it's a DC set.
Well, the thing is, Star Trek is also supposedly coming out in November. So I am going to completely skip Harley Quinn if it is a choice between the two, hoping that I'm able to get both. But I'm hoping to get 2 Gravity Feeds of the Star Trek set.
I don't know if I like the Harley Quinn set enough to want to pay for a case, but I want to get myself a brick, so I don't know if I'll get you a brick too for your birthday. We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe. You didn't get me, like, you got me, well, you did probably spend like $100 on alcohol.
Yeah, it was
for
a
my
lot of
birthday.
alcohol.
That was. Alright, so, let's transition from there. Let's talk about the Mighty Thor a little bit more.
Okay.
Just to close it out, it's been a while.
This will be the last one.
I mean, I'm sure we'll mention it here and there, but...
Too much.
But it was a really good set.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad talking about it for 2 months. Like
I'm sure that a lot of people would agree, too. A lot came out of this set that, if not extremely playable, is very meta.
Yeah. So the dust has settled, and I have seen a surprising thing that I missed until I read an article on the Realms. So shout out to that guy. I forget his name. But he pointed out...
You know who you are.
Yeah. I doubt he watches this, but if you do, you know who you are. Good job. Anyways, he pointed out that ID cards, they say if no other character has used the call and help ability, then you may take this action. Odin the Destroyer, as you all know, you give him a power action when he has 1 action token, he can take any 2 actions at no cost. So you can use the call and help ability for each of those actions. So what you do is you take the Justice League teleporter gives you 6 ID cards, and it has ways to replenish the ID cards and do a bunch of stuff. It gives you inspiration every turn. It's a really good piece. It's 30 points if you have 6 ID cards on it. Sorry, 35 points if you have 6 ID cards on it.
So it costs...
It's 5 points base plus 5 points per ID card, like normal.
Right.
And you can use the Call and Help ability as normal, or you can do fancy stuff with this. The point is you're going to use the Call and Help ability as normal. It just gives you the most ID cards for the least amount of points. So Odin the Destroyer can call in 2 characters. They can each share the inspiration from each other. You can also then roll the teleporter and choose a friendly character and give it the inspiration from the slot number that you rolled, assuming it's not one of the 2 ID cards you used. So you can have like Green Arrow on there, or probably, well, let's say you call in Cosmic Spider-Man and Nick Fury. Let's say those are 2 you call in. Then you roll Green Arrow slot. You can choose Nick Fury, roll the Green Arrow inspiration. Nick Fury gets to use Green Arrow's inspiration and Cosmic Spider-Man's inspiration. And they both get to attack. Like, you get a lot really quickly.
Yeah.
So I was playtesting it a little bit, and what I ended up doing is I called in Nick Fury and Green Arrow. You can choose that they can't use one of their powers from a different source. So, for instance, you're impervious from Brainiac or whatever. And
that's through Nick Fury.
Yeah, that's with Nick Fury. And then when Green Arrow hits, they can't use defense powers. So you can get through a ton of layers of protection. And Nick Fury gives shield to adjacent characters. Green Arrow gives adjacent characters... Oh, sorry, Nick Fury gives shield and +1 attack. So you can have a 13 attack on Green Arrow before using Ranged Combat Expert. And then Fury can do the same thing at the +2 attack, so he's at a 13 attack. If he's targeting the highest point character, he goes up to a 14 attack. Like, you get all kinds of efficiency out of using the 2 inspirations together. Plus, you're getting like 2 hard hitters that disappear at your next turn, so they got 1 turn to respond. And when you're finally done using all of these ID cards that replenish themselves and do all this other stuff, then they have to deal with the Odin the Destroyer, who has a 19 defense on his top click with an impervious that succeeds on a 3 through 6. And...
What's the next stand?
He has Pulse Wave, which is cool. He's Power Cosmic, so you can't outwit him. But... he gains Invincible. He keeps like a 4 damage his entire dial except for like his last 2 clicks.
What is his range value?
Only a 4.
Okay, so he Pulse Wave like 2.
Yeah, you move into position as far as you can, use the ID cards, make them come to you. Whenever you clear, then the next turn you move in to get into position, hope they don't kill you, and then you get to take the 2 actions when you're actually ready to attack.
Right.
But you can do some serious damage. The 6 ID cards I like to run, I like the Superman ID card because that gives Invincible. So if you roll up his slot, then you just give Odin Invincible on top of an Impervious that succeeds on a 3 through 6. So if they don't have Penetrating, they probably can't hurt you at all. If they do have Penetrating, they're doing a max of 3 because you have the Invincible from Superman if you happen to get it. Cosmic Spider-Man, the Spider-Man ID card is another good one because it gives you super sensitive. So you can get some defense layered on to your one-man army basically. Then Shield level 7 for Nick Fury or Hawkeye, depending on who you're fighting against.
You gonna put some booster gold on there?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Because you got the Atom, who can give your Giant, turn him into tiny size. You can call in the Colossal Retaliator Atom, who is really good. He deals 2 penetrating damage to everyone that he hits. That's 4. Green Arrow's number 5, that's obvious.
Booster gold gives you prob control.
Nick Fury has prob. Who's the 6th one? I gotta look at it. I don't remember who the 6th one is.
I know who it is.
Who is it? It's not Booster Gold. It's the Atom Green Lantern. That's the other one. Which I guess if you really want Booster Gold...
Just swap it out.
If you really want to do that, you can go ahead and do that. I would probably put Red Tornado before I put Booster Gold.
Do you really have that many Green Lantern cards?
Yeah, I've got
There's
2.
like a stack of... Okay.
Yeah,
I thought it looked
2.
like a stack of 4 to me.
No, it's just 2.
Alright.
It's from the teleporter because I traded my first teleporter, so I had to buy another one.
Right.
Yeah.
Good job.
I had 2 Superman ID cards to go to trade with that. But anyways, so that's one meta build that's come out, and it leaves you with 35 points left. So you can take the Carnage Colossal Retaliator with 2 of his Pogs, you can take Mangog, you can take Surtur, 2 of the Atom Colossal Retaliators plus the Atom ID card, so you can just retaliate everywhere forever. You can also, one good combo with the Atom is you can make a Colossal Retaliator tiny size with that inspiration, and then that Colossal Retaliator can attack like normal and use its retaliation in the same turn. And there's no damage depletion modifier anymore. So there's a lot of layers in that team build that can be very good, and I'm excited to try it. And I was actually going to suggest that versus the next character we're going to talk about for next Meta Monday. Or first official Meta Monday? Whatever. We've done a couple gameplay videos, but the next one we're going to do, I think, should be these two teams fighting against each other.
Okay, the next one is going to be...
Unimind.
Yep, Unimind.
Unimind is nasty. I overlooked him. I think everyone overlooked him. People...
He looks cool.
Yeah, he's super strong. He's got 3 different point values. One of them's 370, so you can't use it in 300 Modern, obviously. But
you wouldn't really want to, though. You wouldn't be able to use it in Modern anyway because there aren't enough Eternal characters to tag on that are in Standard anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't take you any farther. It just it gives you more clicks. You have great values, but you don't get that 6th Eternal to make it really worth it.
And let's preface this by stating, for anybody who doesn't know, Unimind in the comic books is a combination of a bunch of Eternals characters. So all of these people fuse together into this, you know, like...
entity,
unit,
basically.
Whatever. What is that dude with the... It's the sword dude. My god. Giant mech that is created from all of the little tiger dudes.
Oh. I have no idea.
It's the same thing.
But yeah, it's like that.
Yeah.
But
except into this like spirit being with really long fingers.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about him at his 275 point click.
Oh, but hold on. So all of that was to say, what's important about him is the Forged in Blue Flame trait. So what that says is during your force construction, you include a number of different characters in your sideline with the Eternal keyword, adding 5 points to Unimind's point cost for each.
We have 5 from the Mighty Thor that are in Modern right now.
And other characters would include like Thanos and stuff. None of those other characters are standard. So the only characters that are standard and equipable in force construction for standard Modern would be these 5 from the same set.
Which I'll read them off real fast.
Okay.
You've got Ajax, he's 044, the rare from Mighty Thor. Athena is the only common. She's number 15. Icarus was one that was spoiled early on. We thought he was kind of underwhelming. Well, I thought he was underwhelming. You kind of liked him. This makes Unimind awesome because he has this charge early, the Impervious, which we'll get into why that's relevant. Makari, he's got hypersonic speed. He's a rare as well, number 46. And then the Cersei super rare that we talked about a little bit. They're all like really good actually.
Yeah.
Because
well, we'll probably focus on the point value that will be relevant, and that is the 275 point character. And the reason for that is playing at 275 points and then adding these 5 at 5 points apiece would bring him to exactly 300 points, and he's going to be like a one-man army in your standard Modern 300-point game.
And if you really want, you can drop one of them and get to 295 and then bring an ID card. That's for the one-man army. There's actually 2 different meta builds that are kind of surfacing. We're going to start by talking about the one-man army, though, because I like it. It's just cool. You don't see a lot of one-man armies that work, and this one, from what I can tell, does.
It really gives you a limited version of the pick-a-power mechanic, but on a very strong character in itself.
And it's only limited because we don't have a modern Pulse Wave Eternal.
So the other great part, though, about equipping these characters is, at the beginning of each turn, and whenever Unimind takes damage, you may choose one standard power a chosen character can use, and Unimind can use that power until it chooses again. So,
and a big part to interrupt you, because I love interrupting you, a huge part of that is the beginning of each turn.
Right.
So that's on your friendly turn, you pick an offensive power like Running Shot, Psychic Blast, whatever, and then at the beginning of your opponent's turn, you can pick a defensive power. So you can pull Stealth if they don't have someone who ignores Stealth. If you want to layer your defensive powers, you got Prob Control, Shape Change, Impervious, and Vulnerability. Like, you name it, you got it.
And whenever he is killed, then all of the characters... What?
Not killed, or KO'd, because then you'd score his points.
Okay.
When he would be.
Whenever he would be KO'd, he then explodes into all of the characters who you had attached to him on their last click, and they are all invulnerable to Pulse Wave because they knew what was coming.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
No, his power, the powers that you pick are protected pulse wave. That's on Unimind. So if you pick stealth, you're protected pulse wave. Pulse wave can't hit you if you're in stealth unless they ignore line of fire.
I thought what it was meaning was...
No.
Because it says, when Unimind would be KO'd, instead replace it with all chosen characters on their last non-KO clicks, placing them within 4 squares of it. Those characters can't be healed this game, which is putting one requirement on those characters. And then protected pulse wave, I thought, was attaching to those new characters.
No, that's just tagging onto the trait. The protected stuff is weird. It's like they just throw it on at the end to cover the trait. If it was the whole character, it would be protected in all caps at the top. And I don't know, it's weird. But no, it's his power, and the Win has ruled on it. It's the powers he gets from the sideline Eternals.
Okay, so the Eternals that pop out
do not have
protected pulse wave. Okay,
but,
I thought that they did in order to keep them from just getting trounced once that happens.
But they have to be within 4 spaces of where Unimind was, so you can put them all 8 spaces away from each other, so you can't just get one shot with the pulse wave.
Right.
But the reason that's so good, well, one of the reasons, is all those characters have the same ability in Channel Cosmic Energy. So you can have, like, for instance, Ajax on his last click. He has 10 speed, phasing teleport, 10 attack, 16 defense, 3 damage with Close Combat Expert. Well, you also get to do a +2 perplex to one of his stats. So you can have Close Combat Expert to a 5 damage with a 12 attack. You can do 13 attack, 4 damage. You can do 6 damage, 11 attack. Like, there's so many options. That's just on one of them. You have multiple characters. That's why I like the one-man army, because when he pops, you get 5 characters that can all attack with that perplex. You get, this character has basically an end cap when you hit. You've got characters with Outwit, Precision Strike. That's all on their last click. That's after you get through all that Unimind is.
Yeah. And the other trait, which is what really I think makes him fantastic, is he has a free action. Until your next turn, Unimind can't use power action or power cosmic team ability, but can use Perplex and Willpower. When it uses Perplex, it may modify a combat value by +2 or -2 instead. This turn, it can use Perplex an additional time for every 2 characters for the Eternal keyword in your sideline that it can choose powers from. So, the standard 300-point character with 4 or 5 characters on him, he would be able to use it twice.
3 times.
3 times,
because
one for...
it's once
oh, he uses it himself and then an additional time.
Additional for...
Yeah, so he uses it once naturally and then once for every 2. So he would be able to use it 3 times, basically able to affect 3 of his stats or max one of his stats out and still perplex another one up by 2.
And it's not restricted like the other Eternals. You can target anyone with this perplex. So if you have an enemy who has a 5 damage and you've got Invincible, you just perplex their damage down to a 2 and they can't hurt you.
Or, you know, they have a 20 defense and you have a 10 attack. In this case, this guy has a 12 attack at this point, but even whenever he does get to 10 at some points. So say you're going against that Green Lantern and you're like, crap.
Well, you can't perplex that Green Lantern. He's a bad example.
Oh, true. Another example of anybody else who has a 20 defense. Then you could perplex down their defense, perplex up your attack, and you've really closed that distance.
Yeah, a 4-point swing on a die roll is huge.
Yeah.
Like, you go from needing a 10 to a 6, I'll take that. Especially because one of these guys gives you prob control. I think it's Makari. Gives you a prob control, so, like, it's really good. And that protected pulse wave with the stealth, like... Because are there any pulse waivers besides Unimind gets a pulse wave late in his dial, but I can't think of any pulse waivers in Modern who naturally ignore hindering terrain, except maybe someone with Superman ally or wildcard team abilities. But like in your current meta stuff, Jakeem doesn't ignore line of, hindering terrain. Like Green Arrow and Nick Fury do, but they can only remove 1 layer of his protection unless you have both of them. So he can just take. Like, if he's going against Nick Fury, he's got Invincible top dial, he can take Shape Change. Not Impervious or anything, because penetrating from Fury. But he can take Shape Change or other powers to make it harder to hit him. Same with Green Arrow. Green Arrow takes away his defense powers. Great, I'll take Impervious from my sideline. Whatever.
Yeah.
And I'll perplex my defense to a 21. Good luck hitting me.
So, long story short here, this guy's super good. He's coming up in the meta as well, something that we kind of missed in our first few runs through the Mighty Thor. We're going to be doing a 5-minute meta later on, so check out that video to we're going to try to play a game with him first, but to kind of see what potential we believe he has, do a more thorough rundown of his dial and what he has available. As far the character is super versatile, as are any of the characters with pick-a-power type abilities, and his stats are already really solid, and the ability to perplex that many times is also super nuts.
Real fast, I do want to touch on it because most people are saying that the best way to run him is at his lowest point value. He's only got 5 clicks, but he has a stop click, plus you can layer the defenses like normal. But it's 160 points for 5 clicks. I mean, it works, but I really like the idea of using him at that point value, 160, with Bizarro Green Arrow. So you tote him around, and if it's anything that you don't want to take a hit from, like Green Arrow or Nick Fury, then you just throw the damage back onto BGA and you don't care. And then when they finally do get through all that and they hit you, you got a stop click, and then the Eternals pop out. Like, they have to KO 4 characters, 5 characters just to score 1.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of defense on top of defense on top of defense.
What do you mean they have to KO 5 characters to score 1?
Because you got to KO Bizarre Green Arrow before you can get to Unimind.
Right.
Then you have to KO Unimind, which you hit him to a stop click, which normally that would KO him, but nope, stop click instead. And then you have to hit him again, so that's the 3rd one. You finally would knock him out, and then the 2 Eternals pop up. Or 3, however many you're playing at low point value, 2 or 3. And then you have to KO each of those, but you'll get the points for those 2 instead of just for Unimind, so you'll actually get more points. But you have to take out 5 characters in order to score equal to or more points than Unimind is.
Yeah. Well,
and you score BGA too.
Like, what are these point values of these characters though? Hold on.
Yeah, they're anywhere from like 115 to 185, something like that.
Yeah, we've got Cersei at 150. We've got Ajak at 110. We've got Athena at 125. Icarus at 150. And Makari at 140. How this would work if you end up, having possibly KO'd Unimind and then having all these guys pop out. If your opponent then tables you, you have given them an absolute supreme advantage in victory points for the purpose of the rest of the game, or for the rest of the tournament, rather. Because rather than having that max of 300 points that everybody else is going to have available,
they're going to score like 500.
You've literally if you're playing all 5, you've just given them about 700 points. So they basically just won 2.5 games.
But the only reason time points matter is for tiebreakers. So win-loss comes first. The other thing too is
in a big tournament though, you can have multiple 3-0 people.
Yeah.
So that is not going to be uncommon.
Right, and so that is something just relevant.
Yeah.
Another interesting thing to note though is if you're playing Unimind, he gets popped and they KO 4 of them, and all you have left is 1. But you remove your opponent's last figure, you still win, even though you've KO'd less points overall. The first victory condition checked is what figures are left on the table. The only time you check for points is if you reach time or if characters are KO'd simultaneously to end the game.
Right.
So it's not a huge risk in losing those characters unless you, if you squeak by and you scored 150 points, then they pop Unimind, then you know you can't table them, you have to be very cautious on what you do. But if you're going for just a straight up just nuke and win, then it's not a big deal. But watch out, if you take out everyone but the Chase Hawkeye, and he just plinks all of them and gets 3 of them KO'd, misses the 4th attack, and you don't take out that Hawkeye before time's up, he's going to win anyway. So just kind of things to watch out for.
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah,
we'll cover him in more detail later, as though we didn't just cover him in fair amount of detail just then. But the other thing we wanted to talk about coming from the Mighty Thor set is just objects in general. Mjolnir is obviously going to be a super meta piece. Also, objects like the Blood Axe or the Enchanted Ball and Chain.
Enchanted Crowbar is nasty.
They're all absolutely fantastic, and this is the first time we really had these types of objects just shotgunned at us as far as equipment items.
Be ready for...
Frey. Frey is awesome too.
Be ready for Jean Grey from the Fast Forces. You're going to see her everywhere. And also a really cool thing I saw.
Jean Grey from which Fast Forces?
The most recent X-Men set.
Uncanny X-Men?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she has the free action TK. So
Right.
she can TK the object from 5 spaces away into the space of the character you want it equipped to.
Yeah.
The other way to do that, I found out, is you can use a character with hypersonic speed because now it's 2 moves. And you're allowed to activate hypersonic even without a target of an attack. The same way that the Chase Hawkeye was ruled on by WizKids. So what you can do is you put the object 5 spaces away, use someone with hypersonic super strength, they run out, pick it up, that's the first move. And then your second move, you run back and you drop the object. And you drop it in an adjacent square, which happens to be the square that...
Just go grab it and bring it back.
Exactly.
If it's a light object too, then any character can pick it up. They don't
Yeah.
even need super strength. So you could also just do that with your vanilla,
Yeah.
like
But-
35-point Jay Garrick.
Yeah. So that's really cool. That Jay Garrick's amazing, by the way. That
He is
Flash.
very good.
I got my butt kicked by him. He came out... Well, he missed the KC Green Lantern, but I was on my last click. I'll talk about that game in a little bit. But, yeah... Hypersonic, because it's 2 movements now, you can pick up the object and then place it, where otherwise you have to pick it up and then do another movement to drop the object, which if you have sidestep, I guess, you could move 5 spaces, pick it up, and then move back and then sidestep to drop it. So that's another option for these object shenanigans, but just that's something very important to pay attention to because your special objects have to start a minimum of 5 spaces away.
Yeah. It's kind of weird though, because like Mjolnir is going to get hoard out to like the biggest hitter on the block, and it is 100% not accurate.
Yeah, like...
It's the we're even talking about having somebody go pick it up and bring it back for somebody else to pick up, and then it's like,
so like
none of this is canon.
So Jay Garrick is, well, no, it's a heavy, so he
It
can't
is
pick
heavy?
it up.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Mjolnir is a heavy object. It would make sense. It better
Yeah.
be.
Well, I was
But,
thinking like Shazam runs out and grabs it. That would make more sense anyway, because I'm sure he's more pure of heart than Thor is.
Yeah, unworthy Thor could pick it up. He's literally unworthy, and he can pick up Mjolnir.
Yeah, well, you know.
Or like, what's a good villain? There aren't really any good villains in HeroClix. They just make all the good guys good.
Oh, like actually good.
In the game, like
Okay.
to actually use to where you want them on your team.
I'm sure that there are. So, like Loki. He's good.
Yeah.
He's a good bad guy.
Yeah, I guess.
He's a mostly bad guy.
But he doesn't really have like the same movement shenanigans. I'm trying to think of someone who could just like walk out, pick up Mjolnir, and just walk back and like toss it to another bad guy.
I would say Captain Adam, because he's got super strength. Not Captain Adam. Black Adam. But he is not great. He's not a great figure.
So, yeah, we don't have any good villains. It's really sad.
I'm sure there are.
Okay,
good
let's.
You're gonna put this all over the comments, guys. All the
Yeah.
good villains who have super speed.
Armagon. Armagon can go out and grab it and bring it back to Lord Dreg. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but they could.
It would be awesome on Armagon because he gets to make a free close combat attack
That would be really
within
good.
his freaking range.
I think he's got a range of 5. So,
And
with the phasing teleport.
With something else. No, yeah. Well, you've got Perplex.
Yeah, it's not bad. I can
Yeah.
see it.
It could work.
Yeah.
Especially for free. That's nuts.
It'd also be good on Krang. Not as good as when Krang had Justin. Could you imagine that? Because I think he's more close combat oriented top click or something. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
It's been a while since I played him.
I've never even played him.
I played him once and got a lot of dirty looks, so
Yeah.
I shelved him.
Oh.
That was also that was Silver Age or Golden Age. I don't remember. But I was just playing TMNT villains, and he was one of them, and he was nasty.
Yeah. Alright, well, that is the Mighty Thor. Let's go ahead and lay that to bed.
Yeah, let's wrap that up.
Yeah, you'll, I'm sure, see
Mm-hmm.
us playing characters from the Mighty Thor. We can put more highlights on them later. We're going to have the 5-minute meta of Unimind. Probably Odin Odin the Destroyer, because he's a unique and pretty neat character.
And probably Thor Odin's son, he deserves it, honestly.
Yeah, he's really good.
Because he's not super meta yet, but I think he will be. Especially after the rotation, when most ID cards rotate out, when Eclipso and Brainiac rotate out, and it's going to be a lot more just like punching face and sideline or stuff. I think he'll step up a lot then.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, 2 range combat attacks, one being a range action, the other just being a range attack, is really good. Especially with Red Leader. Which, that's another piece I think we talked about, but is really good, Red Leader. There's just a lot of, the more you think about the Mighty Thor, the more good pieces you realize came out of it.
Yeah, Red Leader's nuts.
Red Leader.
Mighty Thor really was like the best set that's come out in a long time.
Probably since the Hammer of Thor set,
Yeah.
if we're honest.
If you're wanting to just get into the game with a fairly competitive advantage, I would say go ahead and pick up a case of that, if any.
Yeah, if you've got the money to drop and you don't know what set to buy, Mighty Thor all day long.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll talk about the doubles tournament I went to with Vega. You were going to go to, but...
Didn't go.
Yeah, did you even go down to Tampa to meet?
Didn't end up going because Liv ended up taking all freaking day. I ended up going to a restaurant in Tampa. I drove an hour, and then she didn't even show up at the restaurant for over an hour after that. When she was like, hey, meet me at this time, and I go, and I'm sitting there for like literally more than an hour.
Yeah. The whole reason that he went to Tampa was to meet
William Shatner.
William Shatner. Or to, again, you met him before,
Right,
right?
but Star Trek Attack Wing, I have all of the cards for, all the crew members and stuff. That's part of that game. And I have, of course, the captain card of the original Kirk, and it has him from the original Star Trek series on there. I was hoping to get as many of those cards signed by the actual crew members as possible. The only one I've been able to get signed so far is the original Uhura from the original Star Trek, and that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But to get William Shatner's autograph, to get in for both Olivia and myself, $45 a piece, and then the actual autograph without a picture or anything is $80, and I would have had to wait in line all day as well, so that would have been $170 to get an autograph.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. And
$80 for an autograph. I want to be that popular or famous one day.
That's not uncommon.
I know, that's crazy.
I think I paid $40 for Uhura's, and she's definitely like not one of those like crowd bringers.
And then you get like sports athletes that you just like hand stuff down from the stands, they sign it and throw it back at you.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool. I like athletes. The cool ones. There's some that are douchebags too. But so
Go ahead with your doubles explanation.
So it was an interesting event. It was like a competitive 400 points per player, so it was 800 points per team. One resource allowed per team. It had to be a theme team.
Wait, did you explain like what doubles meant specifically?
Okay. Yes, you have teams of 2 players. You each build a 400 point theme team with the restriction I just said, and you team up together and you like alternate turns. So like I'd go, then opponent 1 would go, then my teammate would go, then opponent 2 would go. And that was a ridiculous event. We went 2-1. I think we got 3rd place, 4th place. But we played an all mystical theme team, which we had the Jakeem Thunder, the Kingdom Come Green Lantern. We had Brainiac, Eclipso, Al Jordan. Felix Faust. We Fausted someone, and he got super mad. I kind of felt bad.
What do you mean Fausted?
I rolled a lockdown power 4 turns in a row. But it came back to bite me because the next round, Faust literally rolled the blank like 3 times, and then he rolled the one that like you get improved movement, ignores hindering terrain. He rolled that one a bunch, like just useless powers. But and the Doctor Strange, we played Gluttony with Eclipso on him with the shifting focus Doctor Strange. So Gluttony has Impervious now, and every click is a slap click. And the Doctor Strange shifting focus, every time a friendly character adjacent takes damage, heal it 1 click. So like, you punch Gluttony, he takes a click.
Lose? They just killed Doctor Strange, I'm assuming?
No, they managed to snipe an ID character that we called in. And then they ran back, so we had to get aggressive. Because it was like very much one of those, whoever moves first dies. So he jumped forward with Jakeem, but then barriered around him. And then I called in Cosmic Spider-Man to take out the barrier and hit him to set up for our Jakeem to take out theirs. Unfortunately, Cosmic Spider-Man freaking missed, which was annoying. Still blew up the the blocking terrain, but now Jakeem can't finish off the other Jakeem because I've only got like a 5 or 6 damage after powers and everything, and he's got 8 clicks, so I was really needing to hit that first attack. So we couldn't do that, and then they just, because Cosmic Spider-Man with Psychic Blast is at 75 points, he's only got 4 clicks. So then Jakeem just like smacks him down and then runs away, or got TK'd back. So then we had to move forward. So that's how we lost that one, but it's still super close. We actually were going to lose the first game, but we pulled out just a ridiculous combo. I forget exactly what it was, but basically they have a full health Johnny Thunder. We played the same team twice, just the way the points worked out and stuff. It was a JSA theme team, and we managed to. Oh, and they had. Sorry, to backtrack a little bit. They had the Trinity of Sins. I think is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Trinity resource. Yeah. That thing is nasty because it's on the entire team. They have more than 7 characters. So turn 1, everyone took power actions. Everyone got a sin assigned, and then turn 2, they all got this stat boost.
Wait, so you're talking about the resource that has the 7 deadly sins?
Yeah.
Okay, Trinity of Sin is different.
Okay. Yeah. So it's
7 deadly sins.
Yeah, it's that resource, and it gives like all of them sidestep and willpower, and like they either get +2 to range and attack, or they get and the Mystic Steam ability. They get a bunch of buffs. It was nasty. But the game 1, I forget exactly what we pulled, but we were basically able to do exactly 6 damage to Johnny Thunder on the last action of the last turn of the first round, when we were behind by, I think, 110 points, and Johnny Thunder's like 125 or something. It was ridiculous. And we made that attack, hit him, KO'd him, time was called, it was glorious. And then they got us back in round 3 because we were undefeated. And they managed to beat us by taking out a call.
It was the same guy again?
Yeah. We got, because there's like 16 players, but there's only 8 teams. And then the way the matchmaking worked is we got low point victories, they got high point, they had matches, they were like, again, 10 points less than us on that loss. Right. And they got full points the next win. So we were the only undefeated team left in round 3. They were the highest team that was 1-1.
So it made them fight.
So it made them play us again. Game 2, or round 2, Felix Faust popped off. We were playing against a full Green Lantern theme team that had the Lantern Battery, which was stupid. Because it makes it to where all of the enemy characters can only take 1 free action. So like Al Jordan has to take a free action to pick his powers. He's useless. Jakeem Thunder can't take anything to do a free action and then like use his prob control, because prob control is a free action. So like we had no options, which the whole team was built around pick a power and picking options, having a bunch of stuff you can do. So it was annoying, but Faust he decided that we needed to win that game, and he just popped off. Rolled like the boot twice, rolled the can only make range attacks when I had someone in range to just phasing teleport and base the whole team. It was ridiculous. Faust was great. So we won that one. It was actually really close still. And then we lost the 3rd round.
Yeah.
Which was to the same team. But it was cool. Yeah.
Sounds like it was a neat event.
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, real fast, I want to do a quick shout out to Baldy. He's the one that told me about the Odin the Destroyer with the teleporter team.
Is he somebody you know, or somebody in the realms?
Yeah, he's from IDC Comics. He plays there a lot, and he's the one that I asked for some suggestions for teams to play coming up, and he told me about the Odin the Destroyer with the teleporter team. And then Tyler is another one from that group. He came up with a good idea for a Unimind team with Unimind at 160 with Bizarro Green Arrow, the Jean Grey with telekinesis, and I think he wanted to use the 35-point Green Lantern free barrier, and then the last 5 points you do a call-in. So that seemed like a really cool team too. Yeah. So thanks to both of y'all for the cool team ideas. We'll probably play them against each other for one of our gameplay videos soon. And anyone else watching, if you have team ideas you want us to try out, pieces you want us to talk about.
And that doesn't just have to be meta. If you've got something that you even have a character that you really want to play but you don't really know how because it doesn't seem to be that good, maybe we could even make some suggestions in a Filthy with a Chance of Meta video to kind of, play a character like that or something like that,
And we'll probably be it'll probably be released by the time this podcast is out. We did a Ninja Turtles epic battle That was a lot of fun.
It was pretty awesome because of how thematic it was.
The Space Turtles and Mona Lisa against Armagon and Lord Dreg. That was cool.
It's pretty awesome.
We also found out a lot about the Space Turtles. Since they have the flight ability but not the flight symbol, they can carry each other when they're flying. That's really cool.
I think it's specifically because the flight symbol it expresses that they have the flight ability now, because flight symbol used to operate differently. You had flight and carry independently. But I think what makes it to where those turtles can carry each other is that trait says they may use the flight ability rather than they have it. So you could just be like, well, I'm not using the flight ability right now and I'm going to get carried. And then you take sidestep and then you're like, okay, now I'm going to use the flight ability and I'm going to carry.
Yeah, which actually is kind of thematic and makes sense.
Yeah, because you're just, carrying around your turtle buddies.
Yeah, like they're mutant turtles that are in like super space suits. Like they should be able to like, here we go!
Carry each other around, I guess.
Yeah. And then again, leadership got a huge buff. I didn't end up using it because I think you took out my leadership pretty quick. You damaged him.
Yeah, knocked him down into empower.
Because I had 5 characters on a 400-point team, plus only one turtle has willpower. Like that leadership is huge, so Jimmy made sure to prioritize that. But we're not going to give away too much because we want you to watch that video.
That's right.
It was a lot of fun.
Should be right over. Which direction would it be?
Who's
there should be right over here.
Okay.
On the suggestions bar somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Or, I mean, at the end of the video, it might like pop up with the cool music that you do.
That's right.
Yeah.
Should be right around here somewhere.
Or like here. I don't know. We'll see. Somewhere.
Right
maybe here.
Here.
Oh yeah. So,
anyway.
you have that to look forward to, or not. I don't know. Whatever you're into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be who am I to judge?
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else?
I don't know. I think we're good. We talked about Unimind, Odin the Destroyer. I'm really hyped about the turtle stuff. I'm trying to get the chases with Gridex,
Honestly,
Blobvoid, all
okay,
them.
so we were just talking about how somebody wants to trade super rare Raphael to me for the Surtur from the
Mighty Thor
set. 100% doing that. Now I just need Michelangelo.
Yeah. So if anyone has Mikey for trade, he's the one with the cool spinning.
Or to just give to your favorite podcast.
Yeah, if you do that, like, also send us a username, a tag, a pretty picture or something, and it'll go like in between us right here.
That's right here.
Yeah.
Except it'll be on a later video.
Yeah,
of course.
So us doing that literally was pointless. But
it'll happen.
Yeah.
Right here.
So,
Its space is reserved for you.
Yes.
And then we'll send you some nice pictures too.
Yeah, and then you've got Graviturtle, I've got Shielectro, so we're working on getting Gridex and Blobvoid so we can play with those.
And then I've got, my god, it's Splinter's evil side, Sliver.
Sliver, he's cool.
Yeah, so I'll make a team around Sliver so that we can have a thematic battle as well.
Yeah, and then I think Vega has the Sketch Turtles, so we can do them.
True. I'm trying to think of who they would go against. I really want to get Cyber Shredder. Cyber Shredder's hot garbage. But
he sucks, but he's so cool.
And also, he's from that 2003 series.
And his points work out where you take the 5 Shredder clones, so Clone, Shark, Mini, Shiva, and Claw, and then you add Cyber Shredder. They're 600 points exactly. So that's really cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
We also, how many Triceratons do you have?
2 or 3 maybe.
I
have 3 for sure.
Do you have a general guy? Or they have like the Triceraton leader?
No.
That'd be a fun fight too. I can't believe they didn't make Clix of the dude Salamandrian with Mona Lisa.
Yeah, the commander.
He was like super BA, like they totally should have.
I love his voice too.
Yeah.
That's pretty great. And that's the 2012 animated series. Season
Mona
4.
Lisa's so dumb in that.
Yeah, she is. The complete switch around where she's like, you're an outsider, I will kill you, and then Raphael pops back up and she's like, ooh, I like your moves, and you're just like, seriously?
And then her little growling thing where she's just like, rah.
Yeah. It's like years of racism apparently where she hates outsiders suddenly turned around.
Yeah.
And she's just like, I like you now.
And it was like going to shake hands is like, we gotta kill each other now. And they were already hostile and he was like, well, let's shake on it. And then they're like, I'm gonna kill you because like we were about to make peace and now you did that.
Yeah, that show's goofy. But,
that didn't make any sense.
It's a pretty great show.
That progression. It was
got
great.
a lot of good voice actors.
I had a lot of fun. That was enjoyable. We need to watch more.
We should.
Yeah.
Good plan.
Yep. So that's
make a drinking game out of it.
Make a drinking
Every
game
time
out of everything.
Michelangelo says Booyakasha, we gotta take a drink.
Make HeroClix drinking game. Every time a figure gets KO'd, take a shot. Play with Double Dinosaur. All the pogs.
I'm thinking like every time somebody makes a successful like 5 or 6 roll.
Yeah, super senses or shape change.
Or like leadership, anything like that.
Yeah.
Play a leadership heavy team where everybody has to play leadership. Everybody has leadership, so you roll it all at the same time.
You get through like 2 turns and just die.
Just die, yeah. Unless you have really bad luck, in which case you won't die. So
if anyone has suggestions of HeroClix drinking games,
I'm sure there are a lot of them out there.
let us know because that would be fun. We could maybe do a video like that.
Yeah, I feel like we'd have to play what is the like Fandral, the Warriors 3 or whatever?
Yeah, Volstagg. Every time Volstagg hits, chug a beer.
Yep.
That'd be fun. Play them against the Wrecking Crew.
Someone drunk. I don't know.
The Wrecking Crew, because you're about to get wrecked.
Ooh. Ooh. Yeah.
Okay. Let's wrap this thing up. I think we've rambled enough.
Let's do it. I'm getting tired. Jeez, what time is it? It's 6:30. I need to get more sleep.
You do.
Alright, well thank you very much for watching yet another episode of Netclix and Chill here on Dimension Shift Studios. This is episode 11. Make sure to tune in to episode 12. And for, the next gameplay videos we're going to be putting up too.
Ideally, I'd like to do 1 to 2 gameplay videos a week. I know you're the one that has to edit, so that's totally up to you.
I would love to be able to do 1 of this podcast a week and then 2 games per week, but it's a lot more difficult to do than just because of time and stuff.
Yeah.
You're at work late and then trying to get home and playing a game and then editing it.
Yeah. I feel like we don't really need to edit much on the
Not
gameplay
in games,
videos.
yeah.
Like all we have to do is if we have to look up a rule or something.
We have to make sure that our turns are done quickly.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of like, what am I gonna do? And that part has to be edited out so it's not just boring as crap.
Yeah.
So
that's our goal, and hopefully that'll make us better players too, getting streamlined and playing efficiently.
Also, I feel like I'm becoming a better player by watching all of the things that I've done wrong while I'm editing. So
it's so embarrassing.
Well, I'm editing through it, and I'm like, my God, that character was right there. I would have been able to make an attack at this point and finish him off.
Yeah.
And like stuff like that, where I'm looking over it again, and I'm like, why did I do this?
Or in the Jakeem Sinister battle, when I didn't check your threat range, I just energy explode me.
Yeah, I can't really think of specific circumstances, but there have been several where I'm editing the video and I'm like, that was definitely the wrong play.
What I do like though is when we used to play, you always like, my luck is the worst, I hate this game, and I'm like, my rolls are bad too, and you'd be like, no they're not, shut up. Now we have video evidence that my dice are terrible.
Now you gotta admit, during that point in our lives, your luck was not bad, and nobody would have ever said that it was.
I don't remember. You seem a lot more passionate about me being lucky than me.
That's right.
But I will never deny that you had the worst luck with dice and cards. Like we tried to play.
I still don't like playing card games for the same reason. I don't know.
Well, I mean, at least EDH. That's one you're playing now.
I played EDH yesterday, and I played 2 creatures in the span of about 15 games or 15 turns, games. Yeah, in the span of about 15 turns, and I had 5 mana on the field, and I had played 2 creatures, and I'm like, I give up. I just put my cards on the table and went and laid down on the floor while the rest of everybody at the table played because it was just dumb. Like people were doing things, they weren't attacking me out of pity. Like they were like, yeah, they would be mean to attack Jimmy. It's like kicking an animal. Like I just couldn't get anything on the field. So
Oh well.
I'm just not good at shuffling, I think.
Yeah, let's go with that. Anyways, if you made it this far...
What's that supposed to mean? I'm playing with a starter deck. I didn't even make it.
I know. It's... I don't know what else it could be.
Mean person. I think what happens, just to finish this conversation off, you're playing Magic, you got all the mana in one spot, and then you pick it all up at once, and then you pick up all your creatures and your discard, and you put them all together, and then you shuffle it in, but there's still pockets because I don't shuffle well. So then I pull a bunch of mana or I pull a bunch of creatures and then I just don't get anything else.
Okay. Oh, real fast. Another cool game, Exploding Kittens. That game's amazing.
Yeah.
Bears vs. Babies is one I want to try.
Haven't played that one.
Bears vs. Babies looks pretty cool. So those are just random games.
All right, check that out.
Yeah,
It's starting to thunder
there's
pretty
a
bad out
thunderstorm
there.
starting.
God, we're gonna die.
We're gonna get off. If you made it this far, you're great. If you didn't, I don't really have anything to say to you because you won't hear it anyway.
True.
Yep.
Was,
See ya.
That was deep.
Everything I say is deep, Jimmy.
Goodbye.